Okay, welcome back to Eyes Open Media. All right, so first of all, before I even start talking about Venezuela, as you guys can see it as the headline title of this video, I want to say R.I.P. to Roland Black, man, a guy that I went to high school with, and I think I even went to middle school with him as well. So I known him for a long time. I think the last time I even talked to him was like 2014 on my old Facebook page. So yeah, man, I just found out today through another friend, and that he passed away. So I wanted to say salute to him and. Wow, it's a heavy loss there. Roland Black was a good guy, and a lot. I know a lot of people are going to be flooding the timelines tonight with condolences to him, to his family, and everybody else that has lost a good person. So Roland Black, salute, R.I.P. Well, died young. So we always talk about dying before your time, and he definitely died before his time. Now, at the same time, you never know. Maybe he didn't. But if we die before 50, it's usually that you're dying before your time. But we always say the Lord, the Lord has other ways. Maybe the Lord, wanted to take him down. Or, I don't know. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I just want to say R.I.P. and to him and to the whole family. The whole Black family. So R.I.P. Roland Black. Okay. Now let's get into Venezuela here. Okay, so I did post this yesterday. I said Venezuela is a socialist nightmare. Okay, if you guys haven't seen Venezuela videos on social media, it will break your heart, because you see these people without food, without water. I mean, they to survive, they have to they're slicing up cats and dogs just to survive. I mean, that's disgusting. You know what I mean? But of course, in China, that's normal, right? And I guess it all depends on where you live. You know what I mean? If you're in China, if you're Chinese listening to this, you probably, oh, cats and dogs, that's cool. That's a good meal. And lasts us 4 days. But if you're in Venezuela, you're probably like ill, okay? But I have to eat, okay? So they're out of food, they're out of water, they're out of a lot of things, and I'm kind of shocked that the rest of the world hasn't poured into Venezuela to help them. It's like they're actually just watching from afar and letting that country destroy itself, okay? And it's socialist. And that's one of the fears of Bernie Sanders, isn't it? Voting for a person that is a socialist, because we see how socialist countries turn out. Socialist and communist countries are god awful. Okay, you do not want to live in that. And Bernie Sanders is a socialist. Okay, and some of you guys like Bernie Sanders. I actually like Bernie Sanders myself, but the problem is he's a socialist. And I've seen too many countries that are socialist or communism. I don't care what you call it. I don't care if you call it democracy socialist or a democratic socialist, whatever you want to call it. When you start putting those socialist rules and laws and regulations, you become Venezuela quickly. Okay, and after that, there's no getting out unless you just destroy the whole country. Okay, so the only way Venezuela is going to get out of this is as they just topple everything and start all over. Okay, which will be even worse pain for the citizens there. I wish we could just go down there and help out. You know what I mean? But kind of crazy what's going on down there. We need to supply food, water. We need to do what we got to do over there, because the problem is that, as I write here on Facebook, I said Venezuela is a socialist nightmare. Please pray for them. Now then I say that this will be America if we don't change and work together and love each other. Put down the reality TV, the video games, and start looking at the world. It's very important for our future. See, a lot of people in America, they don't know Venezuela is going through a nightmare because they don't care. Okay, they don't know because they don't want to know about other countries. And that's going to be the downfall of America, is that many citizens do not know what's going on around the world. And I just can't fathom that. I know what's going on around the world, and I bring that to you guys, and I bring it to the main channel, Currency 365. I bring it into my team report. I make myself accountable for what's going around the world because I need to know in order to counter the things that are coming to America and the things that are coming to the world. Okay. So, for those people that are living in America and don't care what's going on around the world, that is going to be your downfall, because I guarantee you there's a lot of people in Venezuela that didn't think that they were going to be in this situation, and they just didn't care. Okay, now they care because they're starving. Okay, and they have to kill dogs and cats and look in the dumpsters for food. Okay, so we need to be careful here in America, and not think that, okay, we're on the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is going to be good, and nothing's going to happen in America. Okay, look. They went through Cyprus. They destroyed that. Okay, they did some things in France. They've done some things in Ireland. They're basically destroying the economy in Italy. They're destroying the whole Europe. Europe is being destroyed. London is next, and then we see Brazil's going through massive chaos. Venezuela's going through massive chaos. They're basically showing America that this is about to be you. Okay, if you don't if you don't counter it. Okay, so we know that it's coming. Okay, because the Western world is going to be collapsing like it is. Okay, and this was like what, 2 3 years ago on Eyes Open Media. We were probably one of the only ones telling people that the Western world is going to start to collapse. Okay, under its debt and under what, how do you say that word? Strategic planning by the elites. Okay, and remember, we had bankers even come out, top bankers come out and say that the Western world, that they have planned the Western world's demise. Right, George Soros and these guys are flooding in refugees on purpose into the Western world to collapse the Western world. Okay, now you have Switzerland about to vote on June 5th to give their citizens $2,500 a month tax free. Right, that will collapse Switzerland as well. Okay, we have Germany just flooding themselves in with refugees who are now the German rape count has skyrocketed because a lot of these refugees are now seeing these women, and they're trying to rape these women and do criminal activity against these women. So now you're destroying the German culture because you're flooding in all these refugees into them, and with no accountability. Okay, so it's a planned attack to destroy the Western world and build up the Eastern world. And that's one of the reasons why we are invested in the Eastern world, because we know what's coming to the Western world. Okay. Now, does America have to go through all that? No, they don't. We don't. We don't have to go through none of this, but we have to work together. We have to love each other. We have to stop the racial stuff. We need to come together and fight against big government. There's a lot of things that we can do in America to protect ourselves and to work together, and to make sure that we're not Venezuela, that we're not going to be Germany, because Germany's about to fall here in the next 2 years. They look strong right now, but all them refugees coming in, they're about to fall, and they're going to fall big time. And when you see Germany fall, all of Europe is going to be gone. Okay, and that's going to be taken over by Russia. I already talked about this 2 years ago, and it's happening to a T. Okay, Russia's going to take the northern side, northern countries of Europe, and China's going to own the southern half of Europe. Okay, and then China's also going to own most of Africa. China's going into Africa, and they're going to be putting their currency into most of the countries in Africa. As you see, they're going to be doing it in Zimbabwe, South Africa, and they're going to be doing it throughout Africa. Okay, and also South America as well. China's going to be running that as well, and a lot of the Middle East. Okay, but China's going to let the Middle East run themselves because they have all the oil, so they're going to let them run themselves. But like I said before, back in October 2013, I did a strategic timeline and events of what was coming, and how Russia and China were going to team up together and take over the world, and start to manipulate the world. And that's what we're seeing now. Look how big and strong China and Russia are. So everything's going as planned. Okay. And it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing to me because, when I sat down and I wrote that stuff, many people said, you must be out of your mind. And now those same people are like, how did you even know that? So it is what it is. And then that's called wisdom. That's called wisdom. Wisdom, wisdom to understand what's going on and what's going to happen. And we already know that North Korea and Iran are going to team up with Russia and China, and they're going to be those going to be the powerhouses that go into World War III in the near future. Okay, now World War III is going to be a nuclear war, so I don't know when that's going to be. Okay, I expect it to be maybe between the next 5 to 10 years. Okay, but that will be a nuclear war. So yeah, that's just I mean, there's really nothing else to say, isn't it? But going back to Venezuela, Venezuela is a nightmare, okay? And you're not seeing coverage of it on the mainstream media. And the reason why is because there's a socialist that's running for president, and that's Bernie Sanders, okay? So, you know what I mean? So it's like, let's keep that off the mainstream media because Bernie Sanders is a socialist and Venezuela is a socialist country that's going through nightmare situation right now. So let's keep that off the mainstream media, okay? So that's why you're only seeing it in the on social media. I was seeing I was watching a video of people running down the streets, chaos, getting burnt, all types of stuff, man, going on in Venezuela. And it's not making the mainstream media because Bernie Sanders is running for president and he is a socialist. So even though he's a democratic socialist, it's the same thing. Once you start putting your socialist policies together, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to get the same outcome everywhere. Okay. It's like people in China saying, "Oh, we're communists," but look what's going. Look at how the people are treated in China. Okay, long hours, just it's almost like a slave mentality over there. And I mean, yeah, it's over here in America, it's the same thing. Even though we're in a democracy, it's the same thing when you're working 80 hours a week. You know what I mean? That is slavery. Even 40 hours a week is really slavery. You spend most of your day at work. Okay. So you're answering to a boss every morning. You have to hit your alarm clock, get up, and you're not in control of your destiny. And so everywhere basically is a modern slavery when you look at it in that type of form. But either way, here in America, we need to work together. We need to stop the racial tensions. We need to just come together. We need to create jobs. We need to create situations to put America in the best place to win. Even if the dollar does fall, which it will, even if the dollar does fall down, we still have a plan. Everybody has plans for precious metals and other things like that to accommodate the fall of the fall of the dollar. Okay, it doesn't mean that just because the dollar falls doesn't mean that you have to fall. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people are thinking, well, the dollar falls, I'm done. And that's not true. You counter it. We're gonna counter it, and we have prepared ourselves to counter the fall of the dollar. Okay, and hopefully we can help other people and uplift people as well. And but pray for Venezuela. They're going through it right now. And then next up is going to be London, and I think France is going to have some more problems, but London is going to be a nightmare. Okay, so watch London because up next, London is going to get it very, very bad. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Queen leaves the UK. I would not be surprised if you hear news of the Queen leaving the UK for some type of long trip, and then you see something happen in London while she's gone. Okay, she's not that stupid. Okay, she knows what's coming. So look out for that. Anyways, pray for Venezuela, and R.I.P. to my boy Roland Black. And you guys take it easy. I'm done for the day. All right, eyes open. Peace out.